Joseph S. Bonsall Jr. This is such a joy for me to have this tremendous opportunity to interview you. And as an introduction, Joseph was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the son of pardon me.
Philadelphia.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Philadelphia, of course. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and son of very hardworking parents, Joseph Sloan Bonsall Sr. and Lily Maud Collins, correct?
Correct.
Yes, and you are almost next month, it will be a 48-year member, right? In October, it'll be 48 years, correct?
48 years with the Oak Ridge Boys, yes indeed.
Oh my goodness, of the American music group, the Oak Ridge Boys, along with bandmates, Dwayne, William, and Richard. And you can find them online at oakridgeboys.com. Wow, you have the most incredible book right here that I have been reading the past 2 weeks and just loving it. And we're going to I've highlighted my favorite parts, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. I've even got little notes. But first of all, you have won so many awards. You were inducted into the Grand Ole Opry in 2011. You were inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, I believe 2015. You've won CMAs, TNNs, Grammys, Dove Awards, Billboard, Cashbox, and countless more. For nearly 50 years, we have heard your voice singing tenor and power harmony with the boys, taking the lead on hit songs such as Elvira, Break My Mind, which is one of my favorites. I absolutely love that song. And the other one I absolutely love that you sing lead in is It Never Hurts to Hurt Sometime. And that's so beautiful. Joe, you have had such a successful career, and you're a published author of not only this book, but 10 others, which is just incredible. Plus, your writings have appeared in Time Magazine, Power Source, Country Weekly, The Huffington Post, and so many more. So this current book, published by Harvest House in 2015, is On the Road with the Oak Ridge Boys, 40 Years of Untold Stories and Adventures. So you also have a foundation, which I want to hear about too down the road. So yeah, I'm just so mesmerized by your beautiful book. And there's a bunch of full color photos in the center, and you can enjoy, or monochromatic, shall we say, monochromatic photos in the center, so that you can enjoy, there's some full color, so you can enjoy them at your leisure. So thank you for agreeing to be interviewed with us here for Corn Country, and all of our listeners who love you all so, so, so much. It's just a pleasure. So tell me, you tour and perform, Joe, 150 plus days a year, which that just basically blows my mind. So tell me about that. That's like every 2 to 3 days you're performing. So tell us more about, how do you live like that?
Well, the Oak Ridge Boys have always been a hard-working group, man, and we just probably comes from our days singing gospel music, man. We don't know how to stop. And
Right.
COVID has slowed us down some over the last year and a half, obviously, just like the entire music industry has slowed down quite a bit. So I can't say we're playing 150 dates this year, but I got to tell you right now, from the time we're talking here, and I'm sitting here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, we're going to the Oklahoma State Fair tonight. Now, right through our Christmas residency of 31 shows at Gaylord Opryland this year, we are steaming. And COVID slows us down again, man. We are going to be our regular selves from now right through Christmas. So we're just used to getting out there and singing, man. We play all the fairs, the big festivals, you know, the beautiful theaters that we get to play. And we've been to Iowa so many times. Our Christmas tour has come through Iowa many times, actually. And love Iowa. Iowa loves the Oak Ridge Boys. So it's great to talk to you today, Vicki, and share a little bit of this.
Oh my gosh, what a pleasure. In your book, you talk about one very special performance in Iowa that was covered by the Clinton Herald, where you'd gotten rained out, and yet you were so kind, you and the boys were so kind to go into the casino and rub shoulders with the guests who weren't able to see you perform, but you sang a few songs there and you talked to them, and it was a beautiful experience. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and when it was?
Well, yeah, that was a few years back. It was a big summer outdoor show at the casino, and it just poured rain on us. Just rained the whole thing out, and everybody retreated to the ballroom of the hotel. And when we heard that everybody was in there and the show wasn't going to go because it just never stopped raining, we all just decided, well, let's go over there where everybody's hanging out and go mingle with everybody and talk to them, take pictures, have some fun. And it made the news, obviously, as you're talking about. But yeah, it was a lot of fun for us to do, and I think it was a cool thing to do at the time, and it seemed like the right thing to do at the time, and I know the people really appreciated it.
Oh, that is so beautiful. So it was a casino in Iowa, and it was a number of years back, and it was one of your top memories, obviously, because it made the book.
Yeah.
And that's so beautiful. I love that. And also, tell me about the new album that you're creating, June 11th, Port French Singin'. Is that coming up soon?
No, Front Porch Singing came out last June 11th, actually.
Oh, last year. Okay, got you. Oh, I'm so sorry.
We recorded it in August a year ago, right in the heart of the pandemic. Man.
Oh, okay. Got
We
you.
hadn't even seen each other in 4 months, and we just needed to go into the studio and make some new music and just get together and enjoy singing. And that is evident on Front Porch Singing. It's kind of a simply produced album by the great producer Dave Cobb. It's like the theme of the album is four boys on the porch singing old gospel songs, old country songs, new country songs, some new gospel songs, and some great writers contributed songs to the project. And Front Porch Singing came out in June, and it's really doing good. And we've been putting some of the songs on stage, man, and it's really going over big. So it was just great to get in the studio and get to sing right, during the heart of that shutdown.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I'm thrilled that you have brand new music out there. What do you think about the future of country music, the young people, the crossover artists? How do you feel about their music?
Well, I think country music is in a great spot today. I think the young kids singing country music today have taken it to a higher level than it's ever been. In fact, to me, country music is the new pop music. And it's popular music. Everybody knows who the artists are singing country music these days, and they know who the older guys are that helped lift it all. And some of these kids aren't really kids anymore. You take somebody like Miranda Lambert or Brad Paisley or Keith Urban, and some of these guys, they've been around now 10, 11, 12 years. It ain't like they're brand new. But there are some newer ones out as well. And I think most of the kids are doing a great job today. Music, like any kind of music. I mean, to me, if it's either good or bad, some artists I really like a lot, like Eric Church. I love Eric Church. And there's some artists I don't care as much for, So, I mean, it's just like music has always been. To me, everything's song-oriented. Mm-hmm. Hear a good song, man. I love a good song. Play me a good song. I don't care who's singing it. And that's kind of my personal philosophy. And I listen to lots of different music, and I go for the good songs.
That's beautiful. I love it. Tell me about 3 minutes of magic.
Well, 3 minutes of magic is a Dwayne Allen saying. He's said it for years. And he says the only thing more important than 3 minutes of magic is another 3 minutes of magic. He's talking about a hit song. It goes back to that thing again of finding a great song by a great writer, recording it well, and something that you really love. Because if you don't love it, and if, say, we're a group, so if all 4 guys don't love it, then we don't record it. But if everybody loves it and the magic happens, then that's what makes a hit song. There's nothing you can do for your career better than 3 minutes of magic.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love it so much. Now, you talk about being on stage for so many years and still feeling exactly the same. In your book, you also refer to the story in every song, but then you go on to refer to the story in every guest who's in attendance at your concerts. They all have a story. So how is it that you work your magic to connect your story with the song to their stories in the audience?
Well, I think what it really comes down to is respect for the audience. You realize that every person in every seat is a story. Everybody has a story. Everybody has good stuff going on. A lot of people have bad stuff going on in their lives. And I think what we try to do is to communicate with those people, at least for a little while, the enjoyment of music, the magic of music. Music can bring forth very positive vibes, especially gospel music, and we do some of that in our shows. And I think people need to be uplifted, especially in this day and age of uncertainty. I mean, we still don't know, as you and I are talking here, if this virus is ever going to go away, if it's going to be with us like luggage forever, if it's going to be serious enough to shut everybody down again. And I mean, people are dying from this thing, so it's real. And so we're in a we're in a different day and age right now. And to me, when I get out there, say at the Oklahoma State Fair tonight, and I see a crowd of, I know we'll have at least 5,000 people in that arena we play there. So, I mean, you just want to make everybody feel good, including ourselves. You know, we enjoy the music. We enjoy each other. We enjoy the singing process. It's fun being behind the microphone, making that harmony sound that is so distinctive of the Oak Ridge Boys. And we just try to get it out there to the people, and hopefully we can make their lives a little happy for an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. How beautiful. And so you have a record of all your set lists that you've had for years, and you try not to repeat the same exact set list according to your most recent book. So tell me, that's incredible. So this is all archived, and you work with the data, and you make sure it's all new and fresh, right?
I have about every set list we've ever done on my laptop for about 15 years. And when we're playing a town, say here's the Oklahoma State Fair tonight. Well, we were here 4 years ago, so we're automatically going to be doing a different show than 4 years ago. But there's a lot of songs that have to be in the show. Thank God for Kids, Elvira.
Yes. Yes.
People want to hear Bobby Sue. They want to hear American Made. They want to hear Y'all Come Back Saloon.
Y'all Come Back, yeah.
We've got so many hits and so many new songs we want to do. It's kind of a neat balancing act every day to put together a set list that's going to make everybody happy. And I just love doing that. It's my job.
That's
the guys are cool with it, man. Whatever I put on the set list, they go up to the microphones and sing, and the band plays. And we have such a catalog of songs to choose from that you can keep it a little bit the same, but you can change it up enough to make everybody happy.
That's so beautiful. I love it. And you're the keeper of the archives, and that's so lovely. You talked about when you were 15 or so in your geometry class, you got caught for not drawing trapezoids. You were drawing buses and mechanical things, correct?
I flunked geometry class, man, to be honest. I wasn't drawing trapezoids. I was drawing stage plots.
Yeah, there you go, stage plots.
Yeah, four guys in a bus. I mean, I was
guys in a bus.
Traveling. So, I had to go to summer school to make up geometry one year.
Of course.
And until I realized I wasn't going to be a veterinarian. I didn't have college in my future at all. I wasn't really smart enough for the medical stuff. So I quit trying to study things like geometry. They didn't work for me, but I did.
Right. How sweet. I love it. You've just got a very incredibly, I think you're a brilliant man. So don't sell yourself short. Okay. I've read a lot of books, and I'm putting this in the top 10 of my books ever written. This book is phenomenal.
You need to go back to the archives of my books and pick out G.I. Joe and Lilith.
Yes, I do. Now, let's talk about that book. That is actually, that one is about your mother and father, right? Right.
It's about my father, and it's more of a love story than anything, but it does talk about the war and their experience in the war and meeting after the war. My daddy was a hero of D-Day, and I write about that explicitly. And he got hit at St. Lo, France, 50 days after D-Day. He got hit hard, taken out machine gun nest on his own. So he would never say it, but I can say it. My daddy was a hero. My mother was the Women's Army Corps WAC that married him. And then what they went through after the war is quite amazing. And my childhood growing up in Philadelphia is in there, but it's mainly how my father had a debilitating stroke at age 39 when a piece of shrapnel stuck in his carotid artery and cut off the blood flow to his brain, and it was permanent brain damage. So my mother stuck with him all those years, and it's a really great love story, and it's done really well. That book is done well. It still sells now, and I wrote it in 2003. And the book you're holding in your hand there, CMT.com, countrymusictelevision.com, called it the best behind-the-scenes music industry book in the last 10 years. So
absolutely.
That was a real honor for me, too, as a writer, to have that happen.
Yes.
And I just try to take people on a journey in that book. How did the Oak Ridge Boys get from point A to B to C to D?
Right.
How have they gotten from A to C to B to C to D over the years? How did they do it now? And it's amazing to me that all these years later now, what was that? 15? 6 years now? No. Did I write that in 15?
Yeah, 6 years. Yeah.
Holy cow. And look at us. We're still out here singing. God's been good.
Yes.
Everybody's been blessed with good health. We're still singing good, feeling good, trying to keep ourselves healthy in the age of COVID.
Yeah.
And it's really a blessing because we have a lot of friends that we've lost in the last couple of years. So to still be out here singing at our age like we're doing, I think is a real blessing.
Yes, absolutely. You have an entire chapter dedicated to your older friends and connections, which is so beautiful. And you say that this takes you back to when you were growing up and your mama had 2 jobs just to make money for the family while she was caring for daddy. So you had a room set aside for like a nanny, your Nana, you call her Nana, right? And you became very close to her. And how beautiful you honor all these people in this book. And there are pages and pages of names of people who have helped you. And I think that is so beautiful. I love all of that.
I take a little liberty there. Although this is a book about the Oak Ridge Boys, let me go off for just a moment here and talk about growing up and the people that influenced me. And in so doing, a lot of those people also were right there, you know, with the Oak Ridge Boys, part of our history as well. So some of those people were a part of our history as well. But some of them I took some personal liberties, yes.
That's beautiful. I love it so much. So you talk about Johnny Cash in your book, and you talk about the fact that he was one of your tremendous influences. And you say on page, I'm not sure which page exactly, but it's there, that without Johnny Cash, the Oak Ridge Boys never would have survived. And can you tell me a little bit about that? June and Johnny took you under their wings and helped you?
Pretty much so, yes. They paid us more than we were worth to keep us going for a while, and more than the finances. Johnny encouraged us all the time. He said, "You guys have magic here, man. If you don't stick it out, nobody else will feel what I'm feeling." And that's that the Oak Ridge Boys are going to be a big name group someday. And so Johnny was a great friend and a great mentor, and he helped us out when we were really down, struggling. We had a couple of years there that were really gray, and the money was light, and Johnny helped us out. I'll never forget Johnny and June. I mean, June called us her babies. So her baby. Some guy on Twitter the other day, I almost really showed my can the other day on Twitter because I said something about Johnny Cash on Twitter, and some guy really put Cash down and his music. I went off. I can't believe I fell for this, man. These trolls on social networks. They just want to stir stuff up because they're cowards. They're cowards behind a computer. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I came back at him, and I finally said, "Whoa, what am I doing here?" I looked over and read his tweets, and he trolls everybody about everything. Just a hateful person. And so I just blocked him and quit even being sucked into this thing. Keep it positive, man. You know, if you're not going to keep it positive, block.
Right, block them. That's right. Yeah, the man in black, none other like him ever, and never will be.
Never will be.
Never will be. Beautiful, beautiful man. So on page 53 of your book, I have it noted. You say, God has a plan. Tell us about that.
Well, I think that God has a plan for all of us. I think we need to be taking the time to listen to God for those plans. A lot of people are so fast-paced in this day and age, they don't take time to be quiet and listen.
Right.
You have to listen to the still small voice that speaks to your soul. And if you do that, and if you learn to do that, you can communicate with God, a higher power, and He will guide your steps, and He will illuminate His plan for you. But you've got to be willing, and you've got to be listening. A lot of people just aren't listening.
No, they're not listening because they're too busy scrolling through their phones.
I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah, I am too.
But I do take the time to listen. I really do.
Yeah. Set it aside from time to time and just listen for that still small voice within, and God will speak. That's so beautiful. Well, that's all the questions I had for you today, Joe. It's been such a pleasure. I'm so wowed by you. I'm so honored. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. We are truly appreciative.
We worked it out. We had a few hurdles to overcome here, but we overcame the hurdles, and here we are. And it's an honor to talk to you, Vicki. And I'd love to greet all them fine folks that are listening to your stations out there. Again, Iowa. It's always meant a lot to the Oak Ridge Boys. We've been everywhere in Iowa. My gosh, from all the fairs to all the beautiful theaters to some of the casinos, we have played Iowa. And I thank everybody out there for their support of the Oak Ridge Boys, and hope to see you again soon.
Yes, we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much, Joe. And have a wonderful, wonderful concert tonight at the Oklahoma State Fair.
Thank you very much.
Yes. All right. Thank you. God bless you too, Joe. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.